that they all said, well, their leader is Sowore. So, and he was the one who led them to restricted areas. They didn't even get to any restricted areas, right? But yeah, so they said that was the reason why they went to pick Sowore. So they're going to detain him and then charge him to court. For what exactly? Listen to Benjamin Hundeyin.
Today, Sowore has been arrested by the Nigerian police force. And you would ask, why was he arrested? It is very simple. The 13 people that were arrested previously all gave their statements, and there is a constant in all of their statements. Every one of them mentions that one Omoyele Sowore led them into the restricted area in contravention of the court order. So it would be most unfair to charge some people to court and leave the person that led them to commit that more like their leader, the lead protester who told them and took them into the restricted area. And that's why in the spirit of fair play and to ensure that justice is served, Omoyele Sowore was arrested today, and like the other story, we wouldn't spend time with us, we don't spend up to 24 hours with us. Once we wrap up the charges, he's going to be prosecuted. In fact, if everything goes right, our plan is to ensure that he is prosecuted today, he goes to court today. About the Nnamdi Kanu protest and what's the latest on it, you would remember that 8 people were arrested on Monday in the Transcorp area of Abuja. They were arrested because they contravened the court order that restricted movement within those areas. Despite several warnings to them not to move into the restricted area, they charged headlong into the area, and like we warned 2 days before the protest in our statement that anybody that contravenes the order would be arrested and prosecuted. So, like one, we actually got them arrested, and 5 others around the Ministry of Finance, also within the restricted area, bringing them to 2013. And they were arraigned the very next day. They didn't spend up to 24 hours in our custody. They were arraigned the very next day, and they've been remanded. So,
At least that was their own explanation. So now we are going to have a, week-long litigation from their courtrooms while they continue to make mockery and waste the time of the judiciary that could actually be really dealing with serious, real serious issues. For instance, Nigeria judiciary could be, half of them could actually be used in prosecuting the Fulani terrorists too, Boko Haram terrorists too. As you are watching this video right now, the report from Borno and Yobe, one other state that didn't kind of like mention yet, is facing a serious Boko Haram bombardment. They called it kind of like faceted attacks right now. So by tomorrow, you begin to kind of get the news of what the havoc they wreak. But when they ever get caught, what happens to them? Repentant terrorists. They still have to spend your money. The ones that they are not even bold enough, like honest enough to tell you how much money they are spending in rehabilitating terrorists that are not rehabilitated. They say they are repentant. The only repentant terrorist from the scholars is a dead terrorist. When a terrorist is dead, then he is repented. Do you get that now? As they usually say, if the terrorist says he wants to go and see God, your own job is to help him see that God as much as possible. So a government that is pampering them and then wasting the time of the judiciary on trumped up kind of like a charges, simply because they consider them more dangerous than those who are walking about with war weapons. Context and priority. You know that lady that was kidnapped in Auchi last week? That was, a video pleading for mercy because they were going to kill her yesterday by 5 p.m. Everybody's been asking, how come we've not heard anything from the government of Edo State? Like, how come they've been just unbothered? Isaac Fayoshe, like others, are asking similar question. You see, something about this question is this. You watching this broadcast means you are not in the den of a kidnapper. Your freedom is not restricted. So you can possibly just imagine if this is how the world is going to just pretend that you don't exist, even when your video goes viral, when millions, tens of millions of people seen it, including governments, and the state where this happened never made a pim. So you can just imagine that if this was you, is this how the whole world is just going to move on? Yeah. Except for people like us that will continue to remember and remind others. They will move on.
Yeah, 72 hours after that Aisha that was kidnapped video. They've been sharing it for 72 hours. It's been trending. Up till now, there is no statement from federal government. Up till now, there is no statement from any minister. Up till now, there is no statement from any senator. Up till now, there is no statement from House of Reps. All from Endo people there. Up till now, there is no statement from federal government. The state government, there is no statement from them. It's quiet. Are you with me? Very quiet. Very, very quiet. As if nothing happened. May God not let Nigeria happen to you. This is sad. Can this happen in Kenya, South Africa, UK, America, Europe, even France, that they go and no statement, and people are showing it, people are talking about it, and there is no statement from security agencies, no statement from government, no statement from anywhere. That shows you are not important as a citizen of this country to the people that are ruling you. That's just the fact. That is just the fact. You don't need to stress yourself too far. If you are important, won't they talk about that video? Won't they say they are doing something about it? No, it's a lie. It's a lie. Look at what is going on with Kanu Nandi. They just pardon murderers, drug dealers, so many people. But what does it take them to pardon Kanu Nandi? Tell me now. They even reach agreement with bandits, allegedly. Or does it stop them to convert Kanu to security network in that region, southeastern Nigeria? At least former President Ebele Goodluck converted militants, Tompolo them, to people that now protect our critical assets. You can see the crude oil is going smoothly now since they made Tompolo company to protect our crude. So you can see. So Kanu is useful. You just need to redirect his energy. I've made videos 2 years ago to advise this government on what they can do with Kanu. Kanu is bigger than one governor decamping to you because his network cut across the region. You can convert him to a good asset. There won't be protest. There won't be need to arrest Sowore. Just do the needful. Second term is important, but the life of your people are equally important. APC government, start working. This is not fair.
Again, everybody will talk, but you would expect a response if you are dealing with people who are not intentionally deaf. Do you get that now? when they are intentionally deaf, you're just wasting your time. You can scream, you can, no. You can even use a sign language. They don't care. And it is true. That video has been viewed, shared by millions of people. It's been seen all over the world. And there is not a single, it's one statement, not from the Edo State Police, not the Edo State government, not any Edo State elected official, not even the local government chairman in Auchi area where this young woman was taken. Because you know something, it is regular. They will tell you that you are talking about that girl. Do you know how many other people that are currently in captivity? They will say it like casually. People who are responsible for your safety, who are being paid for that purpose. Eh? They will say it casually. They say, oh, do you know how many people we are still trying to pay their ransom? That girl, we are doing our best to see that we get her. You know, she's been taken for 2 weeks. But guess what? We have people who have been in captivity for the past 1 year, for the past 9 months. We are still raising money to get them. They will say it casually. And that's when you're going to know that, God damn it, man. This is not a real place, man. And I've been saying that myself, that when you see one video of a victim and you are there wondering, sometimes maybe sad, you know, emotional. What kind of a thing is this? Eh? No, I don't want you to be emotional in that sense. You get it now? I actually want you to just imagine if that was you. Some will say, no, never. In Jesus' name. No. I pray it won't be you, because you can't even wish that on the worst of your enemies. Forget about anything you have against anybody. You won't wish that if you kind of have this horror experience of the victims, the everlasting or lifetime kind of a trauma that nobody even talks about. You won't wish it on anybody. But you just have to imagine that, man. So anything can just happen to you, and when it happens, you are just on your own. And oh my God, what if your own story never even makes it to the internet? The people could actually really probably come together and say, oh, let's try something. 20 million naira is what they're asking from Aisha. 20 million naira. Do you think there's nobody in Edo State that could pay that? And then that takes us to, why should they even pay ransom to this ragtag terrorist? I said something about that on during the brunch time this afternoon, right? So I said in one of the platform, Maiyegun's Diary Political, where I shared the video of this lady the first time, I saw several comments that if I was a security officer, honestly speaking, I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't know all of that already. Because people were kind of like giving tips of how they can know if this young woman is being kept in a forest that is far away from the main road, or is far away from, you know, is it in a jungle? What time of the day is that the video made, and all of that. And at the same time, there are technologies that will actually tell you where this video was first uploaded, what time, what location, and all that. And you can circle down, you know, you can say, your signal can say here. Since it is the forest, right? There is no address. So it's here. So you don't just start coming down here. All you have to do is just to circle the entire point, and then you sweep the area. And at the end of the day, you're going to find them there. But the whole thing has become such a big, huge industry that the police that should ordinarily see all these tips, you get me now? You know, sometimes when you, because it's real, right? Sometimes when you watch these movies, you have people who are kidnapped and they are making videos, right? They are making videos to appeal for maybe ransom or something. The videos that the abductors will send to their families and all that, right? So there are people that are trained enough that, listen, just make some sign. something that when you are talking, right, they can easily check the wall, the color of the wall, the paint, the size of the room, and other little things that will give them away and say, this place looks like a certain area. Let's kind of send the troops in and sweep the area. But there is no ambition of stopping these rogues. Policemen will be telling you to pay the ransom, pay them. We have had victims who have come out to say, and their families who have come out to say, they have paid ransoms to terrorists because the police who were supposed to be investigating it and helping them advised them to pay. The best way is to pay the ransom. Because police will be telling you that they have not done anything, they say, if we try to go there, we may lose your relative. So when we are exchanging fire, so it's better you pay them. And those who have paid these ransoms have come back to say most of the areas where these ransoms are dropped are not far from the police checkpoints. All these details. From the comments of people who have seen the video of Aisha, the first one, where she was shown all her legs and all that, they easily said, with this scenery, with this background, it shows that he's not really far from Benin. He's still in Benin. Meaning, if they check it out with the sign, with the swollen legs, right? Because her legs were swollen, possibly because of walking and climbing. So somebody said there's a chance that they have hilly areas where they have to trek, and then they have to like climb. So enough that when her legs became swollen and she can't walk very well, that's why they sat her down and made that video. So for security person, right, they can say, okay, give us the what do you call it? The topography or a view of this area, okay? So that we can tell, do you have any hilly part? Do you have anywhere that's a rocky part? You know what I mean? Like round it up and narrow the whole thing down, and they could have found her, but there is no intention of looking for her. It is sad, very sad. And it is very sad that you see situation like this, you may even have the money. But unfortunately, for you not to be lucky enough to be able to call your family for that money. Do you get what I mean now? You may have stuff that could actually give you that money to pay them. Ransom should never be paid to terrorists if you have a working system. Because when they get the money, what do you think they use the money for? To buy a house or buy what? They buy guns, they buy more weapons, ammunitions to go ahead and commit even more. So the only way to stop them is for those who have the resources to stop them, your government, to do their job, which is a very tough one, unfortunately. So the ASU went on strike a few days ago, right? The Academic Staff Union of Nigeria, of the university or something, ASU, because Tinubu promised them and failed, like others before him. He said they had disagreements in 2009 that's become so contentious up to now. So they declared 2 weeks warning strike. Then they changed their mind, and this is why the guy that declared strike is telling us now that if Tinubu fail them again, they are just going to go to the strike. This time they won't want them. You're right.
Our union believes that the objective has been partly achieved. And one of the reasons why we said so is because each time you go on a warning strike, your intention is to draw attention to the issues that are, between you and whoever you're discussing with. In this case, our employer. And so when we say our objective has been partly achieved, we have been able, through the ultimatum and the strike, to get the federal government's negotiating team to come back to the table to discuss with us substantive issues, in our agreement. And when we presented our position on all the issues, they came back with a counter or their own position on each of those issues. And so that opened the door for more discussions, for us to engage with them and let them know what our position is on each of those issues and what they think. So we consider that to be a major achievement.